I live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to week 2 recap of the NFL. Now, there's been a lot of upsets, a lot of disappointing games, a lot of disappointing fans. So, before we get into any other teams, let's go ahead and talk about Monday Night Football, the Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. Wow. I really thought this game was over with, but it surprised me. In
Kirk Bangs.
late fashion, Kirk Chains came down. Time that to Drake London. Finally, man, Drake London, he could really be like a 1,400 yard guy if he just got some love with the ball. But yeah, Malachi, how you feel about this game, man?
Oh, and just a side note, Buffy, he will be here in a little bit, but hey man, niggas is getting hold on campus. They had a little fire alarm situation. He stays in a shitty dorm, so that's gonna be subject to happen. But anyway, we have a nice show for y'all tonight, man. So of course we are gonna highlight a few games, especially the game that just happened. But we do want to go ahead and start doing some, we're gonna steal from first thing first, and we're gonna do some tier list rankings of the teams and currently constructed how good we think these teams are. So stay in for that because it'll be a long night. And I think we said this last week, but just expect to have these types of live streams weekly. Every Monday, that's the last game of the week. And, we'll get on here and we'll give our little breakdown of where we think that these teams are ranked and how we think the week is going. But with this game, I kind of got in on this game like in the second quarter, and it was a lot of bad football being played. Um, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not sold on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, when we talk about the Atlanta Falcons, they're a Kirk Cousins team. They're fraudulent. Can't really depend on them or trust them. I do think at this point, the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at the top of this division, and we all know the Panthers are they're dumpster juice, they're ass, and the Falcons are just a little bit better than them currently constructed. I still have big problems with the Philadelphia Eagles secondary. The secondary is not good. I mean, Darius Slay, he got beat on that touchdown. He knew that he got beat on that shit. But they continue to have problems with that secondary. And the quarterback, I will say, I was pleasantly surprised to see how dynamic Jalen Hurts was with his legs. But his decision making, Jalen, it is still in question at this moment in time. Can you tell me with a straight face that you trust Jalen Hurts to get the job done in terms of operating from the pocket? I don't. I still have big question marks around him and around this team because you have Saquon Barkley, got AJ Brown, got Devontae Smith, and they scored how many points? Like, come on now. This offense should be more prolific. And I know people are saying that they got this team potentially, winning the division and Super Bowl. You can't really have that conversation, in my opinion, because there are so many holes. You scored 21 points against the Atlanta Falcons defense. I don't know, man. I'm not sold.
Well, with the Falcons defense, they actually don't have a bad defense when you look at them on paper.
They solid.
They got a pretty good secondary. They got a good defense D line, but this game they're really struggling to stop the run. And watching Jalen Hurts, that's probably about the best thing that was going for him this game was the run. He was doing pretty good, getting out the pocket. They were kind of containing Saquon a little bit, not much. He was able to find, Devontae Smith and get him in for a touchdown. But like you said, only throwing up 21 points and you're the Eagles and these folks got you, winning the Super Bowl and winning the division. Like, come on, you can definitely see there's still flaws in that team, especially that defense. CJ Gardner-Johnson, man, all bark, no bite. That's all I hear.
I don't even know why he's still on the team at this point.
All bark, no bite. That man talks his ass off. But with the Falcons, honestly, what I was thinking when I was watching this game, especially the first half, you kind of look at Kirk Cousins. He was definitely showing that he was still, trying to come back off of that ACL injury. It definitely took some time. But yeah, like I said, if you give Drake London the ball, he's a 1,400 yard guy. And I mean, Bijan Robinson, he was killing that D line, rushing and receiving. And man, I just wish Kyle Pitts would get some love. Kyle Pitts, man, he could really be a top tight end in this league if he just gets some love shown to him. But yeah, the Eagles, they really just lost that one, because if Saquon caught that ball, they really could have scored a touchdown. If I think they would have went for a touchdown, or at least, ran the clock out some more. So that definitely killed them right there.
I think I think we need to start having some serious discussions surrounding Jalen Hurts. Now I know that AJ Brown, he didn't play tonight, and I think that hamstring is going to hold him up for a few weeks. I think that's the report. But you still have Dallas Goedert. You still have Devontae Smith. You have Saquon Barkley. You can utilize Saquon Barkley not only in the run game, but in the pass game. I think that niggas know, defensive coordinators, they know Jalen Hurts has to prove to us that he can beat us with his arm. He has not shown us that he can do that consistently. I do not trust him operating in the pocket. Like I said, he is showing that he is dynamic. But Jalen, we know that when it comes to the postseason, when it comes to winning games consistently, you have to do it with your arm. Because what is the point in having those weapons if you're not going to utilize them effective and efficiently? And when the money is pushed at the center of the table, they lost that game due to what? Jalen Hurts turning over the football. We were having issues with him being turnover prone last year. So last year, we were having those issues. That's a recurring theme. Because even though they beat the Green Bay Packers last week, Jalen Hurts didn't really play well last week. He had issues turning over the football. We were seeing the same thing. So I need to see those turnover numbers go down, and I need to see him be more of an effective pocket passer. So until he can do those things, I still have the Cowboys winning that division until he can do those things.
Man, speaking of the Cowboys, man, the Saints might mess around and sneak up somewhere. These niggas might get about 11 wins.
Well, I'm seeing my brother Blaine in the comment section. He asked, the Dallas performance was shameful enough on his own. You don't have to pile on, or do you? Blaine, we're definitely going to pile on to that situation. I have to look. I don't want to hear nothing about Dak Prescott. I don't want to hear any Dak slander for this game. Now, was that great? No, but we need to talk about that defense. That damn Cowboys. Gosh. That damn Cowboys defense is atrocious in terms of stopping the run, and we need to pinpoint who? Jerry Jones, because we are seeing the same problems with this run defense that we saw last year. And what does that go back to? You're not making any free agency moves, no off-season moves. I think they did pick up Kendricks for the linebacker position, but there are still gaping holes, not only in that linebacker core, but on the front line. That defensive line, the only person that they fear is Micah Parsons. So in that game yesterday, what do we see? We saw them, if Micah Parsons is trying to line up on the tight end, they have Taysom Hill in the backfield. They're going to add additional protection. So if Micah Parsons does get through that tight end, and he was struggling last night, he does get through that tight end, he still has that running back to pick up, and he has Taysom Hill to pick up on extra blocking. We didn't hear anything from Micah Parsons. Then they started to sub him out, have him on the sidelines, because Micah Parsons at this point, I'm not going to say he's a one-trick pony, but all he wants to do is rush the passer. They're not utilizing him to stop the run. Micah Parsons has no intentions on wanting to stop the run. He wants to be one of, a TJ Watt, a Myles Garrett, and that is fine, but they have gaping holes because they don't have anybody else that can stop the run on that team. All those guys want to do is they just want to attack the passer. They want to pass rush. And that's fine, but everybody knows what your proverbial Achilles heel is defensively. It's stopping the run. So I think I heard Dan Orlowski say this morning. Think about all the teams in the NFC that pose a threat to the Dallas Cowboys. You got the San Francisco 49ers. What do they want to do? They got that West Coast offense. They got C-Mac. They got Mason. They want to run the football. You feel what I'm saying? The New Orleans Saints. They want to run the football. Detroit Lions. They want to run the football. All of these West Coast offense teams want to run the football. the Green Bay Packers. So how are you going to match up with those teams? How are we going to see anything different from last year to this year? So and they lost at home. That was the biggest thing. They lost at home. So 44-19 is not a good way to start off your season.
Man, Derek Carr. Hey, like that boy said, who that? But first of all, I did see Trayvon Diggs. They asked him in an interview about like, was he worried about the receivers of the New Orleans Saints? And he was like, I don't know, he said something sarcastic, but yeah, that defense was getting, exposed. And I want to give credit to that Saints defense, especially that secondary.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they didn't have Marshawn Lattimore playing. He was out. So give credit to them.
But I think
And
that
with the
goes to show that,
Cowboys,
Ferguson didn't play. And the only option that they're worried about is CeeDee Lamb. Because other than that touchdown that he caught, he was pretty much held in check. He was pretty much held in check because what are they going to do? They're going to give him that Jamar Chase. CeeDee Lamb at this point, he's a top receiver, top 5, top 3, whatever you want to call him. He is in that tier. But teams are going to look at, we don't think that anybody else can beat us. We don't think that there's anybody else that's competent. We're going to send 2 at you, get you frustrated. You're going to get out of your rhythm. Dak doesn't have anywhere else to throw the football to if he doesn't have a reliable tight end because Ferguson is out right now. So,
yeah, because you look at their run game too. They're still like figuring it out. Now they're sharing between Deuce Vaughn, and Zeke. So with that offense, they're kind of still figuring out how. They're kind of still figuring out how they can produce on that offense without just giving it to CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb wouldn't even got that touchdown if it wasn't for poor tackling from the Saints, honestly. So yeah, it's a lot they got to work on if they want to be, win that division. I still think they can, though.
I still think they can win that division too because the division is so putrid, and I think that they still match up well with the Philadelphia Eagles. Because I just, in my opinion, I think Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, but they are going to continue to have problems with those big dogs. Like, can we pull up their schedule and see who's on their schedule?
Don't mind if I do. And speaking of, man, if you're talking about Jalen Hurts, like in the playoffs, I mean, QB wise, he's not going to win a lot of battles. Like, you can honestly say Jordan Love could outdo him quarterback wise if Jordan Love was playing in the playoffs.
I think a lot of those guys can outdo them, but I think the biggest thing with Jalen Hurts is going to be scheming him. Defenses know how to scheme against him because they don't think that he can operate in the pocket well, efficiently, effectively. He can't do it. Because Jalen Hurts, can he beat the blitz? I can't wait for CJ to come back, because we all know that is how you get to Jalen. That's how you get to Jalen Hurts. What happened on that interception? The pressure came, the blitz came, and then what? He threw a pick.
I think the Cowboys could definitely excel in that against the blitzing, because you saw that in Deshaun Watson.
The Cowboys don't fear Jalen Hurts.
Nah,
they actually want to. If the Cowboys are going to face the Philadelphia, they want that matchup.
Absolutely.
The matchup that they don't want to see is pretty much like all the other good teams: San Francisco, Green Bay, Detroit. I don't think they want to face Detroit. They definitely don't want to face New Orleans again. That's 4 teams that I ran off, and there are potentially other teams sneaking, lurking. I mean, like we see.
It could have been the Rams. Had Cooper Kupp and that line, and Puka wasn't hurt.
Well, I think we at this point, I think we need to give some love and some credit to the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh yeah, they on a run right now.
That offense is looking very, very prolific. And you have to put a spy on Kyler Murray if you're the Dallas. Like, I don't think that they can. I don't think that they want to deal with that.
Man, I remember when folks was like counting Kyler Murray out. Like, they was talking about Caleb Williams going over there to Arizona. Like, they was, man, they was down on bro, because he was like he was doing good when he came back off the injury, even though it was towards the latter part of the season, and they would really want to make it to the playoffs. So it was kind of over with. But looking at this Cowboys
offense, I don't know about their defense, but I think that their offense is going to be pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, going back on this Cowboys schedule, they play the Ravens next week.
Mm.
They got the
That's that
Giants.
matchup because if the Ravens have the correct game plan, they run the football, they should beat them handily.
They should. Man, Ravens. We'll get into them later. They got the Giants next,
Duh,
Steelers,
duh.
Lions. That'll
Mm,
be a tough one. And then they got the bye week. And coming off of the bye week, they got the 49ers.
L.
They got the Falcons.
I
Ooh,
think
that'll be
they
a tough
win
one.
that.
They got the Eagles,
They win that.
Texans. That's L. I think it's LBL.
Mm. Wait, is that game at home or on the road?
Nah, it's in Houston.
They might lose that. So that's tough. I can still see them winning 10 games, but it's not gonna be like I don't see them going 12-5.
Yeah, they can definitely win 10 games because they played the Commanders twice, Giants twice, they played the Panthers,
Yeah, that's because that right there, that's 4
Steelers.
dubs right there.
Yeah. So they
That's
can
4
definitely get
dubs.
10 games. So they got a pretty balanced out schedule. So whew. Do we want to go ahead and get into this Ravens and Raiders game? Man, what a disappointment.
I feel like
The
I'm
Ravens.
having the same conversation. Like there are flaws with the Baltimore Ravens, but last year was their year to win. And in the comments section, like, do y'all really think that they were better, that they're better this year than they were last year? Last year was their opportunity to win. I don't give a damn about your running back. Derrick Henry, that shit is not moving me at all. Because Harbaugh already said, "Oh, we didn't bring Derrick Henry here to run the ball 30, give him 30 touches." Then why are you using him? Because we know that if he's in the game to run the football. You're not going to have him in the game to pass protect. But then you want to throw the ball all over the yard. I don't really understand schematically what the Ravens are doing. I think partially what it is that Lamar Jackson, he still has insecurities in terms of who he is as a player. And that is culminating in how this team evaluates themselves. They don't really have an identity. They don't know who they want to be. They don't know if they want to commit to running the football or if they want Lamar Jackson to be the best player in the world.
Honestly, I think they shouldn't have really got Henry because I kind of figured they really weren't gonna, give him no touches like that. They should have got a receiving back. They really should have went out and got like Joe Mixon or something. That would have been because then if they not really run the ball, Lamar can check down to Joe Mixon. That would have been better for him. But man, when I saw them leading, I clicked off the game because I'm like, all right, cool, it's over. Then I look back, I'm like, man, these folks done came back, and it's like y'all coming off of Lamar Jackson, you're coming off an MVP and an AFC championship, and you're blowing a lead to the Raiders. The Raiders, Gardner Minshew. What are we doing? Like, dog, that is so disappointing. But man,
the GOAT has entered the chat. The GOAT has entered the chat. What's up,
yes,
man?
sir.
Dude, niggas are bullshitting, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it was actual fire. So,
really?
Yeah, it was actual fire. Like three firefighters, got rid of the fire.
What's it do to like? You don't know?
Yeah, I don't really know the details. I just know like somebody got their dog and started, running. That's all I know. But yeah. Just like it's just so funny. This shit happened literally like 2 minutes before we started live. I was like, oh my god, man.
That's great.
Like, but
so let's circle back. Let's get your takes on the game of the night. Eagles, Falcons, Jalen Hurts, terrible interception to end the game. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on his performance? What are your thoughts on these two teams?
I think that. Well, I'm not gonna lie to the viewership. I fell asleep during the first half of this game, so I caught it at the end of the at the end of the first half, and I saw the score. I was like 7-6 because like immediately when I turned the game on, it was like they were showing the Falcons coach talking to them about being down by only 1 point. But second half, I voiced what I saw because the second half I saw a lot of things from the Eagles that looked pretty good for the most part. I think the Eagles, their offense is very, very rudimentary. It's something a kid would make. Why are we like? I still don't understand the philosophy of running shotgun every play. I don't get it because it limits the amount, it limits the variation of run plays that you can do. It eliminates the appeal of the play action.
I don't mean to cut you off, but that kind of goes to, we got to look at coaching, because last year they were saying that the reason why they were running shotgun was because of Jalen Hurts being hurt, and they're still doing the same shit.
Yeah, still doing the same. But they were still doing that the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing. I don't really understand the whole Jalen Hurts got hurt, so that's why we're running this. Like, nah, they were doing that the Super Bowl year, and it worked for them then. But it's not a. I don't think that like that's like a winning formula of just going shotgun every play.
It's not.
For the reasons that I asked, like, they can't run any stretch plays, any dives, any gut plays, up the A gap, really effectively. And they have one of the premier running backs on their squad. So I think that does have to do with coaching, for sure. And this was a game to me that the Eagles lost. And Saquon Barkley had the big drop, which kind of sold the game for them. But they should have put out this game like before. Honestly, before. They should have won this game. And I got to give credit to Kirk Cousins. Primetime Monday Night Football, I did not expect Kirk Cousins to lead a final drive. That's pretty insane. Like I put a comment on there like while I was dealing with all that foolishness earlier of getting walked down by prime Kirk Cousins is insane. Like, that's crazy. And I kind of did like a lot of what I saw from the Falcons today. I thought I'm gonna start with the offensive line. I thought the offensive line was really, really great. They buy time for Kirk Cousins to analyze and look across the field. When you're a quarterback, usually they draw up plays for quarterbacks to get the ball out of their hands in like 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds. But when you're standing in a pocket and you can stand in a pocket and get 4, 5, 6 seconds, that does wonders for a quarterback over the course of a game. You feel comfortable. Kirk Cousins felt comfortable, and even on that drive where Darnell Mooney scored the touchdown, he got pressured on the first couple plays of that possession. But after that, once he started settling in, he was able to, get away with 6 different hitches. When you hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you're in the rhythm to throw the football. You're not worried about pressure coming up from the middle. And, Jalen Carter had great pressure up the middle. So, I think that's kind of where the game was won, in my opinion. Not many people look at it from that standpoint, but many NFL games are won in the trenches, won up front with the offensive line and defensive line. That would tell you which team is going to win a football game, because those guys, they don't get as much credit. We can talk about the quarterback and the wide receivers for the most part, but that game to me was one up front, and the Falcons O-line dominated the Eagles defensive front, in my opinion. Like Kirk Cousins, I think he had like 1 sack or something. It was something like that. Yeah, it was like 1 sack, and that's really great for a non-mobile quarterback. Because usually it'll be 3 or 4 sacks a game, and that's if you're dealing with a really great defensive team. But the Eagles, they didn't wow me. The secondary still struggles to tackle. C.J. Gardner-Johnson missed that tackle, and he missed the tackle last week against Jaden Reed that allowed for the big play. So I'm still seeing a lot of the Eagles. I don't think they'll make any noise. I don't think they're in any contenders this year. I think they're a playoff team. I think they could probably win that division. I actually have them win that division, probably.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. It seems like to me, teams in the NFC East are trying to lose the division. It's kind of because you got 2 bad teams, and then you got 2 teams that are talented on paper, but they're just so inconsistent. So, those are my thoughts on that game. Very proud of what I saw from the Falcons, because they had a pretty bad week 1. Kirk Cousins didn't look good. He said that the Achilles injury is bothering him, and you can tell because his footwork in the pocket isn't as sharp. He throws oddly off his back foot a lot because or front foot or whatever to not strain on that Achilles. So you can tell if you analyze his game. But otherwise, I thought it was a good performance by the Falcons, and I have the Falcons actually going to the playoffs. I think they can be in that little wild hunt. So overall, pretty good game. Like halfway through, y'all were saying it was pretty bad, but I guess once I started watching, it became a good game. So
I gotta ramble off a few stats because just to show how overrated that the Philadelphia Eagles are. Because I can't believe that some niggas haven't gone to the Super Bowl. Atlanta Falcons were 2 of 9 on third down, and they won this game. Like 2 of 9 on third down, and they still have more first downs than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, they were struggling to convert on third downs. And
they still won the football game.
That's crazy.
So the Eagles have some self-reflecting that they need to do. CJ, what do you think about the quarterback play of Jalen Hurts before we get into your take on the Cowboys?
I think Jalen Hurts isn't a pretty good quarterback. Much to the stance of people say Lamar Jackson, but I think Lamar Jackson is so special with his scrambling and running ability that it kind of negates his passing flaws. Even I think he's a pretty solid passer, not great, not necessarily good. He's just a solid passer. Jalen Hurts to me isn't comfortable in the pocket. That's why a lot of times I think he takes too long to process the defense, and then he wants to evade the pocket, to get to something he's more comfortable with. To me, it's kind of giving me, and I don't want to be harsh on Mahomes or whatever, it's giving me like Mahomes in like 2019, 2020. We was playing backyard football for the most part. And Mahomes can get away with it because Mahomes is also a really good thrower of the football, like exceptional.
He might be a better athlete than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he might be because I think Jalen Hurts, that injury, he hasn't been as explosive. He's more of a power runner now. He just tries to truck his way, over defenders like Josh Allen.
He had a few good runs tonight.
Yeah, he did. He had one conversion where he ran for like 13, 14 yards through contact, and I thought it was a really good run. But overall, I don't think he's that good of a pocket passer to like read defenses. And one thing that I noticed from him, like in the Super Bowl run, was that he will rely on the deep ball a lot. So if AJ Brown's going deep and he doesn't really see any options, because I think he's a 1-2, like he looks at his one or second read and then he just goes to AJ Brown. He was doing that a lot during the season when they went to
AJ Brown tonight. Yeah,
no AJ Brown. AJ Brown's gonna miss a couple weeks. You have to develop more as a quarterback, and I think that's what's actually helped. And we're gonna talk about him later. Josh Allen as a quarterback. Having a star wide receiver, you kind of get in the sense where you need to force them, the ball like 10 times. When you have a spread offense like how the Bills have, like how the Packers have, the Cardinals have a really good offense. The Saints have a really good offense. But you have offenses with not that many like dominant receivers, like a Chase, where you need to force him touches because he's kind of a diva.
Yes,
I think it furthers the potentiality of the quarterback play of that quarterback. And we're going to make a video on this sooner for the viewers of the decline in NFL scoring, because quarterback play has been, as Tom Brady said, pretty mediocre. Top 3 guys in the MVP race right now are Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and Derek Carr. So you're not hearing Mahomes. Mahomes had 3 interceptions. You're not hearing Lamar. You're not hearing Burrow. You're hearing a little Josh Allen, but he even had like a game where he didn't have to do much. So his stats are going to be down. So that's why I think the NFL is going. And Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, I think he needs to adapt to it. So I think he needs to get more comfortable in the pocket because he has a good old line. I don't know why he wants to scramble every play. I think he has a good old line. I don't know if he's seeing defenders. I don't know if he's seeing wide receivers like not create separation, and that's why he's holding it. I think Caleb Williams has that problem too, where he holds the football too long. So it could be that. I'm not sure, but I think I think something needs to change for the Philadelphia Eagles if they have any chances of being a title contender.
Going back to something that you said about like maybe Jalen Hurts being too dependent on his receiver, like AJ Brown. And I hear Ocho like say a lot of stuff. Chad Ochocinco. And so when the Arizona Cardinals, when they had won their game, Marvin Harrison Jr., he went crazy. He had like 4 for what?
130.
Yeah, 130 with 2 touchdowns. And Ocho gonna say some, yeah, he was going crazy in the first half, but I knew in the second half they weren't gonna go back to him or whatever. And he's like, I hate when offenses they allow the defenses to basically take away what they want to do. And I was
I don't like that.
Yeah, and I don't like that because basically what you're saying is that smart coaches know that if something works really, really well for them in the first half, that the second half, a competent coach is not going to allow them to do that. So what do smart coaches do? We're going to change our game plan if they make changes. If you make changes, we make changes. It's a chess match. I'm going to force feed. I'm going to make my quarterback force feed a receiver just to get his stats up. No, that's not smart football. And I think that's a big problem is that, yeah, we have a lot of wide receiver talent, but these quarterbacks, they kind of get too caught up in trying to make their wide receivers happy. But at the end of the day, it's about winning fucking football games. And that's something I'm seeing with the Jamar Chases, who I like. But when these guys don't get their targets, they get frustrated. And when they get frustrated, they make more mistakes, which leads to what? Drop passes, which can lead to what? Potentially interceptions on the quarterback's behalf because the quarterback is trying to force feed that person, or wide receivers, they getting the ball and they're fumbling. Like we see that a lot. So I agree with that. I can't wait to make that video because I do think that there's a great wide receiver market, but one thing that we know is that there are so many talented wide receivers coming out of that draft. These guys think they're irreplaceable. They're not. Because we look at Josh Allen, and why am I going to pay Stephon Diggs $30 million when he's not going to give me any type of production in the postseason, and he's going to cry and bitch all day? I have an all-time, in my opinion, all-time talented quarterback in Josh Allen that I have him favored to win MVP. And I think that they can have more success without Stephon Diggs. They don't need him. If he's just going to be a cancer in my locker room. And Jamar Chase, I like Jamar Chase, but I think that this contract situation is going to affect his play. If they don't get T. Higgins back, I think that Jamar Chase can be kind of a tumultuous player. Because if he's not getting his targets, he's going to think that that's going to affect him not getting paid next year. And
he's kind of right too.
Now. Huh?
I mean, and he'll be right too.
He is right, but still though, what is your objective? Right? So my thing is, if you want to get your money, you got 2 options. You can hold out, not play, or you can perform well. Because, dude, if you're not getting your targets, you're still out there on the field. It's a team game. So you got to have impact in other ways.
Wide receivers has never had that insight, in my opinion. And, this goes back to, Ocho and the tumultuous, Terrell Owens back in the day. It's just the mentality of a wide receiver. You want your catches if you're a star wide receiver, and they're getting paid like it. Jamar Chase is looking at Justin Jefferson breaking the bank. I need to break the bank too, not by 1 penny, as he said. He wants to break it by more. Now I don't think honestly, I wouldn't pay him top dollar if I'm the Bengals, honestly, because to me this may be something that many people haven't looked at. He hasn't put up numbers, in my opinion, that have been as good as his rookie season. So why would I pay you a lot of money when 2 or 3 seasons down the line, your play is kind of declining? And I know he got injured last year, and he's facing different coverages as the number one. He kind of broke out in his first season because the coverage on him was different. Like when he had that game when he had like 3 touchdowns against Kansas City Chiefs. He's not doing that now because the coverage on him is different. So I'm looking at it as an organization. The Bengals are title contenders. Well, I think they're a great team. I think they're kind of in the mix. I don't think they're like top 4 team, but they're competing for a championship. We all know that they have a top tier quarterback. The defense plays really good. Honestly, they played the best out of probably any team against Kansas City.
This team is built to beat the Chiefs. In my
opinion. I'm saying like they play the best against Kansas City out of like every team I've seen. Like,
and this is what I would say about the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm kind of agreeing with CJ in terms of how I'm viewing Jamar Chase. In my opinion, I would not be trying to break the bank. I would not be trying to break the bank to pay Chase. Now, do I think that they should have paid him earlier? Yes, you should have paid him before Jettas got his money. Should have been paid him. But they can go. In my opinion, they got one of those type of quarterbacks where with his play style, Joe Burrow, he can get like some of those guys, like what's the guy's last name, number 80 that caught that touchdown? Like he's not that
like
great.
Gesicki, right?
Yeah. No, not Gesicki.
No, that wasn't Gesicki. It was somebody else. It was some. Yeah. He got some wild last name. I got to look it up real quick.
But Joe Burrow's the type of quarterback. He doesn't really need to have a true number one. Now, if he does have multiple great options, that's fine. He doesn't really need to have that. He's one of those quarterbacks where you can just give him competent receivers, competent tight ends, and he can make it work.
Yeah, and honestly, that's where the NFL is headed. Because
that's where it's headed. It's not heading in a having one guy that's gonna have all of these gaudy stats. If anything, you want to find you some guys that are like not multifaceted, but that can do different things, kind of like some specialist type of guys. You want a deep threat. You want a guy that's going to help you move the chains, kind of like how the Kansas City Chiefs have their set up. They have their one-trick pony in Xavier Worthy. He can just run straight go ball. Now he is going to have to kind of work on his game a little bit, but you got Rasheed Rice that can move the chains, and you got a security blanket in Travis Kelce, and then they have a Juju Smith-Schuster, and they have in theory a Hollywood Brown. Having a collection of guys together that can get the job done. You don't need just one guy. And that collection of guys, they're going to be cheaper and more affordable. And if one of them acts up, Kadarius Toney, you can get his ass up out of there and replace him. Yeah. Whereas if I have a $30 million receiver, especially if his value starts to go down and his statistical output starts to go down, then it's going to be hard for me to come up off that contract. It's dead cap.
For sure. Yeah, I can definitely see how you look at it like that. I think also, and I'm gonna say this in the next video that we do about the decline of scoring, the emphasis on the run game has been more prevalent to me. Isaiah Pacheco, James Cook, many of these running backs, J.K. Dobbins for the Chargers, it has been the main reason why they've been winning games. It hasn't been because Justin Herbert's arm. It's been because the run game has been really good. I think statistically, EPA wise, the run game has been more effective than the pass game like this season, which is crazy. Do
you think that's a culmination of how these defenses are scheming now?
Yeah,
so it's giving an opportunity for the run game to be prevalent.
Yeah, I think it's that because the 2010s decade, you didn't see a lot of too high safeties. Now with the 2 high safeties, that leaves 9 men inside. So the offense is looking at it like, really, the defense wants you to dink and duck, and they don't want anything deep. So that's why the deep plays haven't really been that prevalent. Anthony Richardson, he had a crazy deep ball play. But really, have you been hearing any other deep ball play besides Anthony Richardson or the Justin Jefferson play? No, not really, because the defenses have been different, and defenses have gotten better. Offensive line development in the as far as collegiate wise, I think has gotten worse. I think they need to stress a higher importance on it. Joe Alt was a really good offensive tackle prospect, and he had the highest grading from the Chargers player last game. So that's more important than what people are letting on. The offensive line, I think it's not really the quarterback play, because the quarterback play is dictated by what type of defenses the defenses are running. Not everybody's Superman, so you're just gonna take what the defense gives you, and they're taking the defenses are allowing a lot of underneath, so that's why we're seeing a lot less yardage. The Saints have really kind of blown away the football game, and they have a really good running back, and they have threats, and they don't have a really clear number one. You could say Olave is number one, but Shaheed is really, really explosive. Yeah. So I think that's the way offenses are moving now. I think many teams need to start, looking towards that route. I think honestly, I think the Raiders look really good. If they get like a really good quarterback, Gardner Minshew, he won that game, but Brock Bowers and Devontae Adams is a really good wide receiver tight end duo, in my opinion.
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers. I think Brock Bowers can be a top 5 receiver top 5 tight end this year.
Yeah, he's nasty.
Yeah,
he's
running
really back's good too. He's like the first Raiders running back to score a touchdown in both weeks of the beginning of the season since Marshawn Lynch.
And that's why I think that signifies its change in the NFL. And I think most teams need to adapt to it. The Bills have adapted to it. The Bengals, in a sense, have adapted to it. Joe Burrow hasn't really had a high prolific year, that he had in like 2021, 2022. So they adapted to it. We know the Ravens play that type of football. Herbert hasn't had a really prolific year since like his third year. They're having more success when they're not dependent on their quarterback. So that's the way the NFL is headed, in my opinion. The NFC's really shocked me because they don't have really that good quarterback play in comparison to the AFC.
I think they realize that they don't really.
It doesn't really matter. Like if you have a good
like a team like the New York Jets, like a team like the niggas is talking about, Aaron Rodgers, he can make this throw, that throw. But I'm gonna say this, and I want to get your take on the Cowboys. I'm in lockstep with CJ. If you are an NFL team, I was telling my dad this, these games, and we talk about this with college, like we talk about Colorado, these games are won at the line of scrimmage. If you can protect your quarterback and you can buy him time, any of these guys can look a lead. Mm-hmm. Like we talk about, is the dual threat, is great. You do want your quarterback to have mobility, but if I can protect my quarterback, I don't need for him to be mobile. I just need to protect him. And be able to have a semblance of a running game. You need some type of running attack so we can open up the play action.
Yeah.
So if you can have that, you don't need to have some crazy deep threats. Because if I can buy my quarterback time, if he can process information well, he's going to find guys. Because the longer he has in the pocket, those DBs, they're backpedaling for a long time. They're going to get tired. Those legs are going to get tired. They're going to make more mistakes. They're going to get PIs, or I'm going to have guys open.
And then, like, with the emphasis of the run game, you basically attack the main point of the defense, which is the linebackers.
Yes.
You start wearing down on the linebackers. And the Cowboys are really bad at this because they don't really have strong interior linebackers.
Break it down.
So the running game is always, year after year after year, is always – their Achilles heel, because the defense is really good. The pass defense is fine. I'm not gonna really count this game that much in their favor when I talk about their pass defense, because this was kind of a non-showing. But their pass defense has been really, really good. They have a lot of good DBs in that room.
Yeah.
The scheme is pretty good in my opinion as well. It's just the interiors and that's kind of how it is. I think because like the Lions, they're always gonna be a good team because they have a good running back core. They have 2 or 3 good receivers. I mean, they have two really good receivers, and they have a good tight end. I think that's the new mojo for the NFL to succeed. Because it's basically what the Chiefs have been winning with. Mahomes has been really good. He wasn't really sharp last year. And Pacheco has kind of formed into an elite running back. Kelsey's always going to be there, especially in the postseason time. And the wide receiver core, while not elite or anything, does his part in getting open in the right time. when you have about four or five solid level wide receivers and one go-to guy, which like receiver rights has become, you're always going to be a really good football team, in my opinion. Especially with that quarterback and defense is being better now. So their defense is really, really stand out. I think they may have a top 5 defense in the league. So yeah, it's pretty much the new mojo. With the Cowboys, I don't really want to talk about them that much because like there's not much to say about the Cowboys year after year after year. It's just disappointment. Anybody that thinks this team's going past the divisional round, I'm convinced has a brain tumor in their head. This is just not a, I said this already. Jerry Jones has doomed this franchise. They're not going to be really good until Jerry Jones gets out of there. I don't even want to talk about Dak Prescott. I don't even want to start with Dak Prescott. I want to start with the defense because the defense is overrated, and their best player is a defensive player, so I have to get on to him a lot. Micah Parsons, when are you going to step up in the run game? Right?
Thank you, sir.
Because I'm seeing all these pressures, but where are the tackles for losses? Where are the tackles in the backfield? I'm not seeing that. And, maybe you can fault that towards the scheme because he's on the edge. But, if that's the case and they need him that much, I know Skip Bayless was talking about playing him in the Skip Bayless said something stupid on the air. He was like, yeah, they should play him. He said something. They should play him drop back or something more. Why? And I was like, you can do that some, but because Mike
Parsons, he doesn't want to do that.
I know, but they're gonna have to do it sometimes. It's a little bit to keep the game respectful.
You think he's ever gonna do that?
I don't think he's gonna do it, and I wouldn't blame him for doing it. But I think they honestly should. But those are my thoughts, man. I don't really want to talk about the Cowboys, man. I think the Saints, looking like the best team in football. I think the Saints will make the playoffs, and we're gonna do a tier list. I have the Saints making the playoffs, man. I think they look really good. Derek Carr. One thing about Derek Carr that nobody talks about, I think he has a really good deep ball. His deep ball is perfect. It's the way he throws it, the accuracy. It's like the throw power. I think is really underrated. And Derek Carr's honestly been an underrated quarterback in my opinion. I think he's been good for literally 10 years, and nobody talks about it. Everybody was last year, everybody was this dude is I think they were saying he was worse than Gardner Minshew or something. I'm like, hey, you been watching football, man?
What you're saying is you're seeing why niggas is now seeing why Devontae Adams was so pissed.
Yeah, honestly. So, and the Raiders, they were a mess last year. So
then what was crazy about that is you get rid of Derek Carr, man, but you let go of Josh McDaniels. It's he was the reason why they got rid of Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Now Devontae Adams got Gardner Minshew,
and Devontae has been kind of good too.
He's been good. He just
no. I understand you. He's been good. Devontae Adams would be top 3 with a really good quarterback, but I think he just kind of found his own in his offense. I think this game is going to be a really good game for the Raiders to build off on, their chemistry. Because I can see them making a push towards the playoffs. Because I think their defense is pretty good. Max Crosby kind of guarantees you having a pretty good defense. So allowing the Ravens to score 22 points. You're gonna live with that. If you're a pretty solid team. So, the Ravens, they have a lot of things to iron out, man. And I'm gonna talk about them later because they're kind of not necessarily Super Bowl favorites, but they're contenders. I think they're gonna have a down year. It's kind of looking like that. I think Lamar isn't gonna have as good of a season which he had last year, which I thought his season last year wasn't even that amazing. I think the MVP probably should have went to either McCaffrey or Josh Allen. And Dak started. I think Dak started declining in the end. I think he was really up there, but he started declining in the end, so I wouldn't put him in there. But Giannis
could have lost in Green Bay, I think.
No. Before then, because he had had like a 3 or 4 game stretch where he started dipping off in his play because I remember
They lost
like
to Miami. I remember they lost to Miami.
they lost to Miami, they lost to Buffalo. Buffalo was a bad loss.
Yeah.
Miami was a bad loss, and then it was like another game in that stretch where they didn't play good, and I was like, okay, Dak's kind of losing the MVP. He's kind of losing the MVP because he was playing really good.
And they really lost that Buffalo game due to the run game.
Yeah. Like Josh Allen, I don't even think he threw for over 100 yards.
No.
Like, that game
I was watching
just
that game on the
Cook,
plane, and the
Cook.
run defense was non-existent.
Like, bro, I was at a pizza restaurant and I was watching the game and I was like, bro, the Cowboys literally letting the Buffalo Bills beat them without Josh Allen. Like that's crazy. But yeah. Those are my thoughts, man. Y'all want to talk about any other games?
I was getting pretty clear. Unless Jalen, you got something you want to touch on?
I can say what I was gonna say about the Chiefs for the tier list. How do y'all feel about Caleb Williams' second game? Because honestly,
I need to go first.
I'll go first and I'll let you bounce off. I think Caleb Williams. You was gonna ask a question, Jalen?
Huh?
You was gonna ask a question? I kind of interrupted.
Oh yeah, I said how do y'all feel about his second game?
Okay, I think Caleb Williams, he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine over the course of the long term. This year is probably going to be a year for him kind of figure himself out. He has to realize he can't stand in the pocket and hold the football. He doesn't have that good of an offensive line to do that. And once the play breaks down and defensive linemen are chasing him, he really can't. Like, he's not that athletic to get past that wave of defenders, in my opinion. So he has to figure that out. I think he needs to just make reads faster. First 2 read, pop it. Like throw the ball, Caleb. We know you can throw it. Just throw the ball for your second or third read. If you don't like it, dump it down to your running back. He's standing in there too long, and that's pretty much it. I think the Bears honestly need to draft a O-lineman next draft for sure. Like, they need to beef up that O-line because you have a quarterback who y'all are placing y'all bets on. He's going to be generational. That's what a lot of people are saying. He has the potential. And you have a pretty good receiving core. The defense is legit.
Yes.
The defense they almost won that game because their defense was holding them in. So the defense, Jalen Johnson is spectacular on the outside.
Might be the best DB in the league.
He might be, honestly.
I like that.
And he almost left last year. So that was really good in them keeping him. So defense is going to be legit. I think they're going to have a top 10 defense for sure in the league, which you can bet on. And this year they're going to go through a lot of growing pains with Caleb Williams. But I think it's necessary in the development of Caleb Williams. I think because, he's a really good thrower of the football. He underthrew DJ Moore on that interception, which I think he shouldn't have thrown. Because
and he missed him on that. I don't know if that was a go route or not, but on the left side, he missed him. DJ Moore was wide open. I don't know if he got pressure or not, though.
Yeah,
that's the one where he was super frustrated. He started rolling on the ground.
Okay, it was another one where he kind of threw that pick where he was kind of throwing it to Cole Kmet when he was on a corner route, and it was 3 defenders around him.
Yeah.
And then there was another one where it was miscommunication between him and Rome Odunze.
Yeah. See, those throws you're going to throw with more zip because you're throwing it across 3 defenders. Those are really hard throws for any quarterback in the league. But you're going to throw with more zip. You're going to put a little more air on it. I think he should have did that. But honestly, wasn't that mad about that pick because he scrambled from the pocket pretty well. Like, he got out of there. Like, he kind of get skinny as the TikTok trend was back in the day. He can kind of get skinny and evade sacks, which it's kind of crazy. I just think he's just not really that elusive or flat, fast or anything. But he can evade sacks for some reason. He's very, very silky. Kind of. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's something that they said about Barry Sanders, which was that he was very, very silky to tackle. And I think Caleb Williams has some of that silk. Not comparing him to Barry Sanders or anything, but yeah, I think that's what it is. But I think he just needs to focus more on getting the ball out quicker. Like I said, NFL teams, the plays are designed for the quarterback to get the ball out 2.5, 3 seconds. He got to get the ball out quick. You can't hold the ball for 5 seconds. And he was doing that pretty good in the beginning of the game, but he got away from that. Maybe the coverage for the Texans was really good. I have no clue. Will, what's his last name?
Will Anderson.
Yeah. Will Anderson took over that game.
Yeah, they were doing good blitzing.
Yeah, another example of the game being dictated up front. The Texans D line manhandled the Bears D line, and that's kind of all she wrote. Like, they didn't really have a chance. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Caleb Williams. Hopefully he gets it out better. But I think this year would definitely just be a year of development. I don't think they would contend or anything. Not to poke any fun to your mouth, but I don't think they would contend anything. But this year, for him to get better, next season, he should be pretty much set on winning at least regular season games. Trying to win about like 10 regular season games next year.
Yeah, I'll say this. Of course, one thing that I need to just affirm is that with the Caleb Williams and the Bears Super Bowl pick, I'm still gonna stand behind my pick. But one thing that we like to do in the beginning of these seasons is that we do like to kind of push the bar a little bit. But I expected the O-line to be way better than what it is. Like, I expected this to be like a top 10 O-line, and they are not that at all. But I did also expect for these growing pains to be pretty much, because I think what's happening with Caleb Williams is, and one thing I don't like, bro, the hard knock shit, like, especially when I'm picking a team to do good, I don't like them to be on off-season hard knocks. Because I really don't, dog. Because we're getting too much foresight, and I think it's a little too much pressure because you're already number 1 overall pick. But anyway, I think what Caleb Williams is struggling with initially is the fact that it's that transition of I've been the best player pretty much every field I've stepped on. Best player in high school, college, Pee Wee, all that shit. So you want to showcase that you are that guy. You want to showcase that. I think he said the fact that we have to take this shit one day at a time. And he does realize that there's more added pressure because he's on a good team. So when you're on a team now, is this a perfect team? No. But like he just said, the defense is legit. They do have those guys at the skill position. O-line, I don't know. But this is a really good football team. So he's pressing. He wants to make sure, and he's also trying to impress his team, trying to impress those vets. So there's a learning curve, as he just said, and I knew that was going to happen. Now we want to look at previous number 1 overall picks, their first few games, not really that great. So I didn't expect for him to have. I didn't even really expect for him to have a good game that first game. Now that second game yesterday, that first drive looked nice. I think they went. I think he went for like 55 to 60 yards on that first drive, and they had to settle for a 53-yard field goal, holding the ball too long. But that first drive looked nice. He was composed. I think once that pressure started getting to him, he started seeing ghosts, and he started, trying to get a wild play. When, as CJ said, take the necessary check down. Your first, second read is not there. Live to fight another day. Because when you're, like CJ said, I think he's also realizing that he is not as athletic, because when you're however athletic you were on the previous level, you're going to go down by at least 2 steps when you get to the professional level as a quarterback. Because quarterbacks are not that athletic. Like, average quarterback is not that athletic. So that's going to take a step back. So now you're realizing from a mobility standpoint what your limitations are. Nothing wrong with your arm. Nothing wrong with your skill set in terms of being a quarterback. But thinking that you can evade traffic, and no, you're not going to be. You don't have breakaway speed. You feel what I'm saying? So he's starting to understand what his limitations are from a mobility standpoint. He's also understanding what the game is, because he's trying to be generational when you just need to try to be an NFL level quarterback right now. Like you being generational, you being Patrick Mahomes, if that's what your ceiling is, you will get to that point eventually. But right now, as a rookie with a good team, you need to focus on being, understanding the current game, understanding how the NFL game is. It's a different speed. He has to get accustomed to that speed. He has to get accustomed to, like TJ said, it's not all about the wild play. And now we're seeing with these quarterbacks, we're not going to be seeing a lot of wild plays because of how the defenses are schemed. So he also has to get accustomed to that. And I think that it's going to take time for his receiving core, because this is a new receiving core. DJ Moore is like the only, from the wide receiver position, he's the only weapon that's been there, and he had a different quarterback last year. So new quarterback, you got a rookie in Rome Odunze who's not healthy. I don't even know why he decided to play last night. He's not healthy at all, and Keenan Allen didn't play last night. So that offense is going to take a minute for them to gel, but I am very impressed with that defense. And we still have doubts about the coaching. I don't know if he's a good coach or not. So we still have to figure that out. But the team, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I know that niggas are prisoners of the moment. So niggas was contacting me after like the first quarter of the first game. I know the Caleb Williams video came out late, but if niggas heard what I've been saying, they would know that this is kind of what I expected. I didn't expect for him to be, I saw what I need to see in the preseason from a skill set standpoint. That shit would transfer over. I did see some things I didn't like in the preseason of him, like maybe just getting a little too enamored with the fact that he can make some of those throws. And it's like, but you don't want to make the wild throw in every throw. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Take that necessary check down. If there's nothing there, get rid of the football. I think he even had an intentional grounding because he was trying to figure it out during the course of the game later on, but you got to get out of that tackle box. You feel what I'm saying? So things like that, he'll watch the film. He's a student of the game. He'll break that down. He'll improve. I understood DJ Moore's frustration, but this is a young team. That's where you have to step up in the leadership standpoint. Keenan Allen wouldn't do that. You feel what I'm saying? So this is a very, very young team offensively. There are going to be learning curves, but they're still 1-1. They're not 0-2. That defense won in that first game. I didn't even think they should have won that first game. I thought they were going to lose that first game. So things like that, the defense is so good, they will help out the offense. But the offense, Caleb Williams has to do a better job of protecting the football. You can't turn over the football when you have a great defense, because when you have a great defense, you don't want them to be on the field too long. You want to help them out a little bit. So that's what I got to say about that.
Also, TJ.
That's all I got to say about that, man. I'm impressed with the Chicago Bears overall. And if people actually listen to what I've said, I said that Caleb Williams was gonna have a learning curve. They're gonna be growing pains. This is the NFL. This is the best league in sports. So it's gonna take him in. Oh yeah. I'm standing on that. I don't know how many NBA fans are in here, but yes, we do have a video about the NBA coming out soon. So the NFL is the best league in sports. Standing on it.
American sports is just sports in general.
Sports. Now the other football, aka soccer, they got something to say about that. But
I think they have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, that's the whole world you're talking about right there.
I mean, NHL is pretty good too.
Yeah, but you see the NFL is becoming more global. Brazil, London. Hey, pretty soon niggas gonna be playing football in Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be there for. I think they're expanding the game in a pretty good route. Like, I think they probably could add a couple more international games. I think so.
I think they will.
And I think that's where they're moving. I think they're doing a great job in expanding the sport, having their namesakes. They have a lot of good name recognition with the players: Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Michael Parsons, CJ Stroud.
That's why these wide receivers are feeling themselves. They're seeing the potential brand replication that can be had. They get that bag and they get their name out there.
For sure. Sauce Gardner, Josh Allen. I think they're doing a really good job. And I didn't even mention the best player in the league. So that's how you know they're doing really, really good. But yeah, I think they're in a good spot.
Hey, have y'all
Commercially.
Blaine, he just said, have y'all ever watched Australian rules football? No helmet, no pads.
Oh yeah, I seen it. It's crazy.
I think I've
Like,
seen a couple clips of it. It's like insane, bro.
No helmet, no
yeah,
pads is insane.
Nah, that's actually
yeah,
crazy.
you really risking your life out there.
Niggas is really breaking bone.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'll be pretty brief on the Bears and the Texans. I really won't say much for the Texans until we get into the tier list thing. But for the Bears, this is just Caleb Williams' rookie season. He's gonna look like a rookie. I don't think the only thing I think he'll get criticized for is he doesn't get as many wins as Justin Fields did. Like, he doesn't get to that 8 wins. I think people criticize him, even though I don't think you should.
They
Like I
get
said, he's a rookie.
They
He's a
getting it
rookie
win.
Well, it's a different team, so
because
it's kind of. I understand people looking at it different.
the only flaw in this team is honestly that old line that I can really think of. They got the receiving core, they got the tight ends, they got
And
a
the
pretty good
coaching,
running back in Herbert, and the coaching, and they got a great defense. That defense can really slip in, like top 6, top 5 defense in the league. Honestly,
They up there with the Steelers.
Yeah, they up there. So
they played the Texans, the Steelers. They haven't really. I mean, they played Kirk
They ain't
Cousins.
played nobody yet, and they really, Steelers. They
Nix.
just been saved by they've been getting saved by the defense. They really wouldn't be winning games. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be honest, because Steelers offense hasn't really been doing anything except getting.
They haven't had to.
Chris Boswell.
I think Mike Tomlin's put the training wheels on Justin Fields as of now. He's like, hey, win the game. Let's wait on the Steelers.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about them in the tier list.
Can we throw up that tier list, please?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say, Jay?
Nah.
I got you. And appreciate all the comments, guys. I
y'all
read them every time. Yeah.
Love
I read them every time. Love them. Let's get into it. I'm finna share my screen.
Yeah, because I have some questions in regard towards the Steelers.
All right, can y'all see it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 5 different categories between contenders, playoff teams, mid teams, bad teams, and the Carolina Panthers. I had to make a name for them because they're just bad. So first, we're gonna get into the Bengals. How we feeling about the Bengals?
I think as of now, I'm gonna put them in playoff team, but with a bullet, because I think that they have a high ceiling, but with that division, I think what's saving them is the fact of the Baltimore Ravens being overrated, and the Steelers are the Steelers. So I don't think that they're gonna be, and the Browns. I don't trust the Browns either. So even though that division is tough, that division is tough from the standpoint of like those teams. They know each other's tendencies well, so they're going to beat up on each other. But I don't think that there's a great team in that division. So I think there'll still be a playoff team. Like, I don't see 3 teams in the playoffs in that division. I don't. Too mad.
I mean, that happened last year.
It did, but I don't see it.
I don't think it's happening. It's not happening this year. I don't honestly, man. I don't want to say it, but like, I don't even know if the Browns gonna make the playoffs the way it's looking. Like,
I don't think so.
Like, Deshaun Watson is so bad for this team that it's.
They had Joe Flacco, maybe.
Yeah, if they had Joe Flacco, they get in the playoffs. Like, Deshaun Watson is really hurting his team right now.
Maybe hopefully Deshaun Watson can. I'm not wishing no injury, but maybe hopefully something can happen, or he get suspended or some shit, so that they can call up Joe Flacco and get him up off his couch.
And they need a little miracle or something, because he's hurting him bad.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think they could probably sneak in playoff team. That division does beat up on themselves a lot. So the only 2 hole is not a big hole for me. So how we feeling about the New England Patriots? I think it's very, very interesting bringing them up.
Bad, man.
Honestly, they can really be. I think they're kind of. I think they're in that mid. Yeah, I think they're in that mid.
The reason why I'm putting them in bad is because, well, question. Do you think that they're gonna elevate Drake May to the starting position?
No. They're gonna. I don't think so. They're gonna bench him for the whole year.
The whole year.
I don't like Jerome Mills
because they're not.
Then I definitely think that they should continue to be in. Well, I guess they can be mid, because I feel like if they inserted Drake May, I think that they could, compete a little bit.
They had a pretty good game against the Seahawks. Winning
But it's
overtime.
also, are we evaluating these teams based off of where they are right now, or are we projecting?
Where they are right now, and then I put the playoff teams in there probably because 10 games. If you think they can win 10 games,
Okay, throw them in mid.
yeah, I throw them in mid because I think
Eventually they're gonna be bad, but let's throw them in mid right now.
yeah, they're gonna bench Drake May for the season. I think they're not confident in that offensive line. I think that's a big deal. So next draft they're gonna they really do need to draft the offensive lineman. But then I think they'll let the keys for Drake May to go, and I think they'll be a pretty solid team, especially if they get like another threat on the outside. So we got a good one right here, New Orleans Saints.
Man. Oh, the Bayou Miracle right there. That's a playoff team right there. The Bayou Miracle.
Yeah, I think
so
they're a playoff team.
they're a playoff team right now with a bullet. I just need a little bit more data. I need like a few more weeks, and they could be going up there. I do think that I can't wait to see what you guys like. I feel like them and the Bucks, those teams.
I like those.
They're battling. They're battling in that division.
Yeah,
man. Baker Mayfield.
I want to see how they play. I want to see how they play the Bucks.
That's a really good. That's a really good division, honestly. This year,
it is
pretty good.
That's that
chitter at the bottom.
Yeah. So how we feeling about the Steelers, man?
Mid.
But they might sneak in the playoffs, man.
They can sneak in the playoffs with they can sneak in the playoffs with the way their division is looking. I mean, that defense will definitely get them there. And Mike Tomlin, he's a winning coach, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make the playoffs.
Yeah. They're like the Utah Jazz of the NFL. It's like they're always going to be in the hunt, but they're in the first round. First of all, in the play-in, they're gonna lose in the play-in. But if they make it to the playoffs, everybody know they're getting swept in the first round, and they out in 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's just at least they got there. But honestly, it still worked with the offense because Arthur Smith, he's like you can kind of tell that I still don't think he fully trusts Justin Fields as a passer. So it still worked with that offense. So that's really their biggest kryptonite. Like, George Pickens, he's a great receiver, but he really isn't. Like, honestly, when I was watching that game,
I'll say he's a good receiver. I don't know about great.
I mean, he's making a lot of good plays. A lot of them were just getting called back. Like, it was a lot of times that the good plays he was making, they were getting called back like almost all the time. Sad to say. Yeah.
So next we got the San Francisco 49ers.
By default, go ahead, throw them up there at the top, but they're starting to have a lot of injuries.
Man, I wouldn't put the niggas as contenders. I ain't gonna lie. Them niggas not contenders for me. They a playoff team.
Well, okay. I know we haven't gotten to a lot of these other NFC East teams, but what other team in the NFC East, I mean, is going to be a contender?
Probably the Lions.
The Lions.
Yeah, I think the Lions could be right there.
If the Packers, they win some games before Jordan Love gets back, because he's supposed to. They said he might come back. They said he might be come back week 4.
That team is kind of overrated, in my opinion.
Their defense will hurt him in the playoffs. I do.
But also with Jordan Love, first of all, we got to be honest. He didn't look sharp in that first game, and he is going to be coming back from injury. That's why I was saying, like, are we being a little too early on the Jordan Love hype train? Because
we'll get into him later.
Okay, he didn't look sharp in that first game.
But I think even with the injuries piling up, I think we still kind of have to put them in the contenders. Like, they're just overall a really good football team.
Yeah, and the Rams are letting me down a little bit.
Yeah, and honestly, Fred Warner, he might go into the Hall of Fame.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta look at his accolades and stats.
Yeah, you gotta get it. You know how the NFL be holding.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. So we got the Arizona Cardinals.
Playoff team.
All right.
And Kyler Murray, what a bounce back season. He can honestly, I don't know if they would give it to him, but comeback player of the year.
He got I don't know about that. He got so much damn talent, man. It's just some of the shit he says sometimes. His leadership is just bad, but he is so talented. Like, he's a very talented athlete.
Yeah, and he's got weapons, and Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner. He's been toting that thing. I think he leads the league in like rushing yards. And Trey McBride, that's a very good tight end right there. He can honestly be a very good tight end. for years to come. That defense is pretty good. It wasn't how it was, before when they had, all those defensive guys, but Buda Baker, he's still, great run support safety. So that'd be a pretty good playoff team. I don't see them, making noise. They're probably getting a wild card. They might lose first round, depending on who they play.
Yeah, I can see that. That's not bad for them though. So we got the Atlanta Falcons up next.
Mid.
They still got work. Yeah, I'll keep it in that mid tier. They still got work.
Yeah, I can see
you beat the Eagles. I'm not impressed. Like that. Like now, you beating the Eagles is not an impressive victory in my opinion. They're such a flawed football team. They did lose to the fucking Steelers.
I need them to beat a contender. If they can beat a contender, then I think they'll be, pretty good, pretty solid.
Yeah. So now we got the Baltimore Ravens.
Playoff team.
Man, I think I put them in mid right now, man.
Woo! That's a huge drop off right there. That's a huge drop off.
That's tough. Hey, I'm not mad at that
because they were contenders.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, but
throw them in mid for now. They are 0-2.
It's very disappointing what I'm seeing from the Ravens. A lot of people are getting on Harbaugh too.
They haven't been 0-2 since what, 2015, 2016?
Yeah, it's been a really long time.
They ain't the fucking Cincinnati Bengals. You go.
They're not. You're
not making the playoffs.
Yeah, they need the advantage because I don't think they're really a come from behind team like that. Nah, I'm not. Unfortunately, man, I'm
hyped for this next one.
I'm not. I'm not confident in the offense this year.
They don't have very disappointed.
And to me, that starts with the offensive line because it's not even. Because what's the point of getting what's the point of getting Derrick Henry if you're not gonna really give him a lot of touches? I don't really.
Titans 2.0.
Well, I mean, they said that they weren't gonna give him all those touches like he did.
That's what Harbaugh said, and I was like, what's the point of getting him then?
That really makes no sense because they're not even utilizing him as a blocking running back either. So it's kind of it's like they just brought him in there because of the name.
Yeah, pretty much. But next we have, my boys over here, the Buffalo Bills, man.
Throw them niggas at the top, man.
I give them contender, man. Josh Allen, that boy is on the MVP season right now.
I told y'all niggas, man.
I think they look like a really good football team. And I really can't even start with Josh Allen. I just think the offense, the defense has been clicking.
Defense just got to stay healthy, man.
Yeah, they just got to stay healthy. But they have a really good DB duo. Rasul Douglas is really, really good. Those injuries, man, Matt Milano, I think they just need to stay healthy. I think that's their really big selling point with the defense. But offensive wise, I think they're a top 5 offense in the league.
Yeah, James Cook, this probably can be an all-pro year for him. Honestly, he's been cooking. No pun intended.
Yeah, because that running back all-pro spot is going to be open because Christian McCaffrey, I think he's probably going to miss too many games.
Yeah, he's going to miss too many games.
Alvin Kamara, he may be battling for that too.
Yeah, that'd probably be his biggest competition, honestly.
Well, it's Saquon.
I would have had Saquon, but man.
Speaking of Saquon, let me see how many fantasy points my nigga got me.
Man, I'm liking that Khalil Shakir. Man, Josh Allen been feeding him too.
Yeah, I like him.
He better than Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, he been better than Diggs.
Yeah, he been better than Diggs, and then he's got his 2 tight ends, Kincaid and Knox. So
they're well balanced.
Next, we have the Carolina Panthers, and I already made it to.
I already know where they at. Man, Bryce Young. Yeah, he like that meme. He finna be raising canes, at the drive-through window. Man, it's wrestling, bro. It's wrestling.
Hey, man, raising canes fire though.
It's crazy because you look at
that mean his ass going down there. They got raising canes in Starkville.
Nah, it's in Tupelo.
Oh, well, he going down there to Tupelo because he can't be up here in the M.
Yeah, that motherfucker going to Tupelo. But man, you look at the Panthers, after everything they've done in the recent years, they got rid of Brian Burns, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore. They gave away, all those people, and they haven't even in return gotten more first round picks from trading those 3 guys. You gave up Baker Mayfield, you gave up all these pieces.
Sam Darnold cooking now.
like they honestly, every time they give up a good player, they just give them up for a bag of chips. And it's like this team is so poverty, and it like they need to do a lot of firing. They might need to get rid of the GM, the coach, shit, the owner maybe. I don't know. Like this team is going into poverty.
There have always been questions about them potentially, selling that team.
They need to, because
I think at this point they may need to rebrand. They may need to rebrand.
They need to sell to Steph Curry.
He ain't there yet.
He ain't.
Nah, he don't, I don't think he got that type of rate. He getting there with his Under Armour stuff.
He got a long way to go.
All right, so next we have Malachi's Super Bowl pick in the NFC, the Chicago Bears.
I'm gonna be unbiased. I'm gonna put them in mid for now, just because they're 1-1. But I do think for sure they're going to be a playoff team. But it's just early, and they just have too many blatant issues for me to put them in a playoff team. I would only be putting them there just off of projecting. So
honestly, I could kind of throw them as a playoff team, because I don't know if the Rams are gonna make the playoffs anymore, because they lost. Cubs hurt. Stafford,
they're gonna be a bad. Rams.
Stafford, he looked rattled. The whole line is hurt. Puka's hurt. So Rams, they're not in there. Bears honestly can really still sneak in, but they might not because of the Saints and the Cardinals. So it's gonna be pretty tough.
Yeah. Where we putting Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns?
Bad because of quarterback play.
That's really the only thing that's hurting that team. I'd put him at mid, because the quarterback is the kryptonite of that team. Because it's like, that's where it starts, honestly.
Yeah, I think, man, it's just Deshaun Watson just doesn't look good, and he looked serviceable last game. Like, he didn't look bad. He just looked pretty average, but it's just
I just don't trust him.
It's a long crowd.
He luckily got away with a dub, man. Trevor Lawrence should have won that game. I'll talk about Trevor Lawrence later.
Yeah. We're gonna I'm gonna get on his ass later, because that was my original Super Bowl pick in the AFC, and games.
I didn't know no more.
Yeah, we switching that.
Man,
so we got the Dallas Cowboys next.
Throw them in playoff team, man.
I think
let's be respectful.
Playoff team mid.
I think they're a playoff team still.
They're a playoff team, man. They're gonna win that fucking division.
Yeah.
Y'all can't tell me y'all trust the Philadelphia Eagles after what we just saw.
Man, like I said earlier, man, it's kind of like, both teams are trying to lose the division. That's what it seemed like to me. Like, I haven't seen anything like that. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Now we got the Denver Broncos, who are quarterbacked by the great All-Pro from Oregon, and Bo Nix.
All-Pro is
bad.
They're bad.
Sean Payton, I have words for you, sir. You were glazing.
I'm kind of putting them in Panthers tier, bro.
They honestly can really be in Panthers tier, like dog.
Like, I'm not playing really putting them in Panthers tier, bro. Like, they're bad.
Please, go ahead and do that, because man, Sean Payton was glazing Bo Nix like he's finna save them or something. Man, I feel bad for Pat Surtain, man. He really wasting his prime years.
He wasn't even liking up.
Yeah, he ain't that great.
Yeah, he kind of overrated, man.
That's what I'm saying. He's not that great.
Okay. Cool.
Niggas were telling me he was over Sauce and Jalen Johnson.
Hell no. He definitely not over Jalen Johnson.
All right, I'm sure. So next we got the Detroit Lions.
They contenders.
I agree.
See, Goff hasn't looked good. Yet.
Yeah.
I think he has one TD to 3 interceptions. So Goff hasn't looked good. I think they still have really good, solid football team all around, and they got better in that cornerback depth. So the defense is a little stronger, but I think it's really going to be on Goff this year, in my opinion.
I agree. I can't wait to see how good
pretty good football team is. I mean, he's been looking really good. So
yeah, especially with Amon-Ra out for extended period of time, he's gonna be cooking.
Yeah, he's gonna be getting a lot more targets. So next we got the they're kind of our in proximity to like where we live here, Tennessee football.
Don't do that.
They kind of are
They're
they kind of are,
right
but yeah.
I throw them in that bag because of quarterback play.
I
Bro, when you got shitty quarterback play, you gotta be
Dog.
bad because
that's-
if you were just competent, you could be in mid.
Yeah, man, that stuff was hilarious. The way that
They could be
coach
2
was
and
getting
0,
on his
dog.
ass. The way the coach was getting on his ass, bro. Will Levis, he does the most wildest interceptions, bro. He's like Josh Allen when he just throws it up there, like F it, I'ma just, hopefully something happened.
Bro,
It was something Josh Allen said about. He said he had like two sides. He was like the little
yeah.
one where
Cool,
throw it away,
I saw
and then the
that.
second face.
Yeah,
where it's
I saw
like,
that, and then
bro, that stuff was
somebody
hilarious.
said on like Twitter that Josh Allen Turner would be talking to him like how the Green Goblin Mask be talking to him. I thought that was funny.
Man,
But,
Will Levis, man.
I know y'all saw that damn Will Levis mayonnaise commercial.
I actually did not see it.
Mayonnaise, mid.
Dog.
Yeah,
I
wasn't watching it that time.
right there.
But yeah, I didn't
That just
see it.
says mid right there. Oh my god.
That's what no aura.
So next we got the Green Bay Packers. Where are we putting them?
Playoff.
Mid for now or playoff?
I'm putting them in mid right now, man. I'm not
For me, they're
sold.
playoff. At the least they're playoff.
At the least?
They're a playoff team.
Least.
Now. We're talking about for here.
They're mid right now, dog.
I think
They can still get some wins.
On what they are now versus what I can see them end of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
But it really depends.
So y'all don't see them making the playoffs at the end of the year?
No. I can, but
that's what I'm saying.
It really depends on the Jordan Love situation. So
they said he's supposed to be back by week 5.
I know, but I don't know if they're rushing him too fast. I'm not sure, but I'll put them in mid. We make an adjusted at the end, depending on how we feel about it. So next we got the Houston Texans. I think they're a playoff team.
They're a playoff team because that's what I need to say about the Texans. Texans are a good team. CJ Stroud is a good quarterback, but he's very safe.
Yeah.
And I think because people that was my thing. Like when a quarterback just has because he didn't throw any picks last year, basically. So when I think about that, I'm just like, okay, you're accurate, you're efficient, but are you taking any risk at all? If you watch that game yesterday, he was playing it very, very safe.
Does he need to take risks though?
I mean, you can say that, but okay. When y'all talk about contenders in the AFC, one thing I've heard from you guys, and I agree, is that you have to be able to go ahead up with Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to be able to go ahead up with Patrick Mahomes being safe.
I think
unless your team is just that much great.
I think CJ Stroud is smart enough not to do that. I don't think he plays safe against Patrick Mahomes. I'm pretty sure any quarterback knows that.
That's not true. Because okay, so that's what I'm saying. So if he's not playing the safe, I would think that those INTs would go up. You feel what I'm saying? And that efficiency, that completion percentage might go down a little bit. See, that's what I'm saying. I need to see him in the playoff setting. They did also lose to the Baltimore Ravens. So I think that this team is going to have a good record. They're going to win that division probably handily, and they're going to get a home playoff game. But I need to see him against like those great guys. Like, I don't know him, Josh Allen. I'm going with Josh Allen. Him, Patrick. I'm going with Patrick. Like, even if we saw what the Ravens did to them, probably gonna go with the Ravens.
I wouldn't go with the Ravens no more.
Well, I'm just talking about in the head-to-head. I'm talking about in a head-to-head matchup, like they beat them before. You know what I'm saying? So, because their run defense is still kind of suspect. So if I go them Cincinnati in the playoffs, I think I'm gonna go with Burrow. So that's what I'm saying. You being safe is not gonna get it done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
put him in that postseason. You're a elite quarterback, man. You got to be able to in the best quarterback conference in the league so far. You got to be able to go toe to toe with those guys.
I'm rocking with my boy CJ. I feel like he gonna make some noise in playoffs.
But another thing with this is that niggas, it's the same thing I had with the Jordan Love situation. Now CJ Stroud, he did do it over the course of a season. We're only going off of 1 year footage. And in the postseason, he did play in a postseason game. Was he good in that game against? Well, he was good in that game against the Browns. Was he good in that game against the Ravens?
Nah, but I think they kind of like that was a collective loss, in my opinion.
It was.
They got
But
outmatched.
But what I'm saying is, when you say that you
that
got faith
defense
in
was
CJ
good.
Stroud, but when you say that you got faith in CJ Stroud that he gonna get it done against these great quarterbacks, what are we basing that off of?
I'm looking at
regular season.
If you telling me that if they face against the Ravens now in the playoffs, I'm taking the Texans. I don't trust.
But
I don't trust Lamar Jackson anymore. I don't trust Lamar Jackson.
But you got to put it in. But they beat them. You got to put it in the standpoint of if the Ravens are in the playoffs. If they're in the playoffs,
that's one game though. I mean, that's his rookie year. So, and I mean he's got I was gonna say he got Stephon Diggs. That really doesn't matter.
Yeah, that don't move the needle.
But they do have Joe Mixon. But what I'm saying,
they got Joe Mixon.
Look at that game yesterday. Like we're talking about them going against the Chicago Bears team when we all know their offensive issues. And how many points they had? 19 points.
But you look how great that defense is.
It's standout defense, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's
we'll see, man. We'll see, man.
How great who defense is?
The Bears. They have good defense.
Yeah, they do got a good defense.
If you that great of defense,
you got all them damn weapons. 19 points, and it's not even like the Bears. They do have a really great defense, but CJ Stroud's not taking any risk at all. Like he's a bro. Just watch that game, dog. Like watch.
If he took risk against that defense, he probably would have had like two, 3 picks, which I don't think would have been smart. Like if this Bears team plays against like the Chiefs or the Bills or something, I don't see the Bills or the Chiefs, going for like 30-some points. That'll probably be like 20.
I think they get to 25 with those quarterbacks.
I mean, yeah. Just because those quarterbacks.
Caleb Williams, he also threw interceptions. He threw interceptions, which means what? You're on short field. They still only got 19 points. You mean if you turn the ball over twice against Patrick Mahomes, he's not just scoring 19 points.
He's capitalizing off that for sure.
On short field. Thank you. So I'm not saying CJ Stroud a bad quarterback. I think he's a really good quarterback, but I'm just saying, like, I think we need to contender. For you to be elevated to that contender status, I'm elevating you. I'm elevating you to that based on your quarterback play. I think I need to see a little bit more. We just going off for one season.
Well, you trust in Brock Purdy and Jared Goff's quarterback play?
But they're in the NFC.
Oh, you talking about AFC teams?
AFC, okay.
So AFC teams, for me to put you in that contender, because we already know that there's one clear-cut contender in that AFC. So with the other teams, not only do you got to be a good team, your quarterback, I need to believe that, okay, if the teams are kind of comparable, you can beat this guy. If I don't have any data that, I mean, you struggling against Lamar Jackson. Now you were a rookie, but I haven't seen it. I've seen it with Joe Burrow. I've seen it with Josh Allen. I've seen it. They can look this man Patrick Mahomes in the eye and be like, nigga, we're like this in this game.
It took a minute for Josh Allen, blow up. It took a minute.
They got blown out in that 2020 game.
Hold on, but I'm gonna be objective. Josh Allen, because he was playing with a cancer. They was getting into shootouts.
Yeah, even the game last year was kind of a shootout.
I was just talking about Josh Allen, like at the beginning of his career. He's like a little shaky.
Well, I mean, but you talking about the beginning of his career, but what about right now?
Oh yeah, right now, of course he going head to head with Mahomes.
But hold on. But did you hear what you said? We're still technically at the beginning of CJ Stroud's career. He had a great record.
I think he made noise in the playoffs.
But also, CJ Stroud caught a lot of niggas off guard.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you think that when he plays against Spags, that they're gonna have a defense that's gonna give him some problems? Because another thing is that we got to talk about this because CJ was talking about the Chiefs. I don't know if we said this on live. We also talking about the coaching, with Andy Reid. They don't make mistakes offensively, but defensively, Spags might be the best DC in the game right now.
Yeah, if the Texans were to play, if Stroud were to play the Chiefs, he'd definitely be the most rattled. Like in the playoffs, he'd definitely be super rattled with that defense. I agree.
Especially especially if you play them at Arrowhead, because it's gonna be a
Yeah,
win.
in Arrowhead, man, you gonna have to play damn near perfect. I'm talking about
Because
everybody, not just Stroud.
I think what works in Josh Allen and Joe Burrow's favor is that in the postseason, schematically, they can break through schemes because they're that great and they got that type of dog. They can get through that shit. Where the scheme don't matter. But Lamar Jackson, like Spags, they know how to play them. So CJ Stroud, I need to see him take it to another level where I can be like, okay, the defense don't really matter. The defense is gonna be tough, but it don't really matter.
Okay.
I gotta see it.
I got you.
So that's why I'm just gonna put him in playoff team right now.
All right. So next up, we got the Indianapolis Colts. I think they're a bad team.
Yeah,
I think they're
man. Anthony Richardson has so much work to do.
Yeah, he's very, very raw. No homo.
Because it's like, bro, you got the arm talent. You're mobile, but there's still other blanks that you got to fill in, man, in terms of being a quarterback. Like sometimes, I think niggas were sending me that. They were sending me on Twitter. They were sending me that like the deep ball, and I'm just like, dog. Like
I sure was getting that everywhere, bro.
Yeah, like dog. Are you a quarterback? Or are you a social media quarterback?
Dude, he was like 8 of 19, I think. Like outside of those 3 deep balls that he threw.
Come on, man.
Like
yeah,
and his throws were like inaccurate, not even hitting the.
I'm about to start calling him a social media quarterback.
It's a pretty ball, but I mean that was it.
Because Justin Herbert, I mean, he kind of been game managing, so I don't know if he really can have that title right now. They 2-0, but there's still a vacancy for that social media quarterback. So
I think Anthony Richardson will take it over from Justin Herbert. Even though Justin Herbert, like right now, he hasn't really had to, game change. He's kind of been chilling game managing right now.
But we know that he has but the thing about Justin Herbert is that's what's kind of scary is the fact that we know he has the tools. So he's game manager right now. So that's my thing with Herbo is the fact that he is game manager, but we know that he had skill set. So he can make those throws.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson.
I mean, he's never shown me even in college he
hasn't shown us
throws. Like Herbert was a really good prospect, and like even coming out of Oregon, but like coming out of Florida, he wasn't really a good thrower of football. So I'm not really surprised that he's having these woes.
Niggas following that Cam Newton hype. Niggas really holding on to it.
So next up, we got got Jacksonville Jaguars. My original Super Bowl pick, unfortunately, in the AFC.
They've been bad.
Them motherfuckers big.
Trevor Lawrence, man. Bro. I think they're
bad. Bullshit.
Niggas bad.
I think they bad, man.
I'm cool with it.
Trevor Lawrence disappointed me as a quarterback. I think, man, he takes too long, bro, in the pocket.
It's
too
bad.
long, bro. And like I did like the pickup, the draft pickup of BTJ. I think BTJ is gonna be a really good receiver. BTJ is looking pretty good. But
man, Trevor Lawrence is scrambling. It's so goofy. I just laugh every time I watch him scramble.
He said goofy. It's crazy. Goofy's insane. Hilarious. Now we got the most obvious pick of the world. We're just gonna put them in contenders. It's like no point in talking about it.
Yeah, let's just proceed.
Yeah, only thing with them is Pacheco. I think we'll definitely see. We're gonna have to see more of Patrick Mahomes lock in.
I think the X factor is Xavier Worthy. Can he do anything else besides run straight?
That motherfucker need to learn how to run routes better.
Because they're not gonna have Hollywood all year. So Rashee Rice is your number one right now. Travis Kelce looks old. He looks old.
Well, he really just been showing up in the playoffs. It's like it honestly seems like they're saving him for the play. I mean,
no, they're not. They want to get him involved.
He only had 5 targets.
because he can't move. He can't move.
I mean, that's what people are expecting Travis Kelce to get the ball. So, I mean,
that's
if
what
you
I'm
just
saying.
pack
So
down on him,
he's not breaking the game. So they got him locked. It's kind of crazy to say this. They got his ass locked up right now. So Rasheed Rice, he's getting everything underneath. You feel what I'm saying? So Xavier Worthy. Okay, so I think I heard Shannon talk about this on those go routes. You may run a 4-2, but these DBs are running 4-3-4-4. So on that go route, if you're not getting separation off the line of scrimmage, you're not just gonna be able to run past guys. So
especially, never mind.
He don't have his releases. He needs to improve with his releases, and he needs to learn how to run the route tree. Now, he is a rookie. This is asking a lot for your rookie season, but dog, you can literally do one thing. And if he can't run that route tree, his highlight is going to be game one. What he did in game one. and that shit gonna be getting locked up, and then niggas gonna be asking at the end of the season if he a bust. So he needs to learn how to run routes. Just improve your releases at least. Make it think that you're gonna go inside. And that's another problem. He's 140 pounds, basically. Like, we weigh the same. So that's a problem. He can't go inside. He won't make it to the game.
They begin jam.
Exactly. So off the line of scrimmage.
Like, remember that footage I sent y'all? It got jammed.
Yes, bro. That bro was slipping and falling. Bro, he need to watch Devontae Smith for something.
If I'm on defense, I would literally just press his ass. I'll press his ass, and I would have single high safety. That's all you need.
Oh yeah, you just put a little grown man strength on him. He cooked.
Yes. Like, I'm not playing off of him. I'm getting up in him, because I know that because like we talked about the ball getting out quick. So if I can alter your momentum off the line of scrimmage, you're not blowing by me. Even with 4.2 speed, you're not blowing by me. So the only way you're gonna get that rock is on a jet sweep out of the backfield. That's it. And they may utilize him. Andy Reid might actually utilize him more in the backfield to get him the rock, to get him the ball in space, because him lining up outside, nah, dog. Nah. Nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, man. If people talk about Tyreek Hill, Tyreek had to learn how to run the route tree. So they had to, because Xavier Worthy, he is starting, correct?
Yeah, he's starting.
So he's starting. Tyreek Hill, when he was coming in as a gadget guy, he wasn't starting. He had to learn how to run routes before he could get on the field. So Xavier Worthy, if his ass wants to stay on the field, he need to go watch some film and work on his releases. Otherwise, maybe he picked the wrong profession. He needs to go run track. But the Olympics is past, big dog. So you missed your opportunity. So his ass needs to learn how to run some route.
All right, next we got the LA Rams. I think they're a pretty bad football team.
I'd say mid.
You say mid? I think they're pretty bad, man.
Dog.
I mean, now
they got so many injuries.
Dog, I'm rooting for the Rams. They're bad now, dog. They're bad. Cooper Kupp hurt. Puka hurt. Stafford might be done. Stafford might be done.
He probably needs to retire. I ain't gonna lie. He probably needs to just retire.
Now I was finna cop me a Stafford jersey, man. I still might cop me a Stafford jersey.
And that motherfucker got a pretty ball, bro.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They're dealing with so many injuries. But it's a part of football. Now this next pick.
They playoff team. Nah, sorry.
Oh yeah, playoff team. That playoff team.
Amen.
Behave yourself.
Dog,
behave yourself.
It's two games. It's 2 games. Come on, dog. It's 2 games.
All right. My fault. Got a little ahead of myself. But yeah, how you feel, man? How you feel about the Chargers, man?
Oh, I'm liking what I'm seeing for sure.
I'm liking what I'm seeing.
I
do want. Yeah, he's solid. I mean, it's only been 2 games. I do want them. They're going to benefit from the fact that their strength of schedule is not going to be that crazy.
I need to see.
I'm ready to see Justin Herbert unlocked. I don't want to see him managing for the rest of the season. If that's Harbaugh's, if that's his game plan to basically treat him like JJ McCartney, then
No, waste of talent.
Yeah, it is a waste of talent because he has all of those tools. So I want to see him, but also like these receivers are unproven commodities. So maybe that's what they're factoring into play. But I think Herbert has the talent to still be a game changer and not a game manager. I mean, unless he's gonna turn into Tom Brady with an arm. But I will say this: mechanically, just with his movements, he's like an athletic Brady with his movements. He's like Brady with an arm. So maybe that's what Harbaugh going for. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey man, maybe time for you to cop a Herbert jersey.
Hey man, you know I'm just really big on being objective, man. Once I start watching you, and I'm actually like sitting down watching you, and I'm not just seeing the social media clips. Like that's all niggas used to spam me with just him throwing the ball 70 yards.
I mean, his deep ball is kind of
that shit not moving me though.
Like that shit rivaling Josh Allen.
That shit not. And then so then the only thing I'm seeing from you is on social media, and then I see you go play.
You have too much speak for yourself.
Then I see you go play what you call it. Can't think of that nigga name right now. Yeah, I see you go play Trevor Lawrence. You got 27-0 lead. I'm like, what the hell going on?
Well, why don't they win that football game? Like 27 points.
What you mean?
I mean, shouldn't that be enough for you to win a football game?
You can't score any points in the second half. You can't stop the bleeding. Like, damn.
Hey man, it happened. But they're looking good this year, so that's very good. Now we got the kind of declining Miami Dolphins, and with their quarterback play, I may put them lower because I may put them bad, bro. Because the quarterback, because bro, like no Tua. Like, did you see the dude that was out there the other game?
Dude,
he may be bad.
The season he played before, I don't even know his name, but season before
quarterback that subbed in, remember?
I gotta look at his name. It was
I don't know
bad.
His name.
Oh, he was putrid.
Dude,
so
it was terrible.
They got rid of Skylar Thompson. They should have kept Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, I may put them in bad, bro.
Woo.
Man, and then Jalen Ramsey. I mean, he's looking, decline. He's declining,
bro. I told you. I said, why did they give him an extension? I told Caleb that. I said, why did they give his ass an extension? I would not have given him an extension.
Man, I know Tyreek Hill scratching his head, mad as hell. He about to spend the rest of his years out there unless he decides to come back to Kansas City.
He's done.
Yeah,
he's collecting the check.
Yeah, he's not.
He's just happy to be there in Miami where the weather is good all the time.
Skylar Thompson.
He's not in the business of winning championships. He just I mean, what did he say in the offseason? He said that he was him. He just cared about his own individual accolades. And that's fine. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But the crazy thing about Tyreek Hill is the fact that the Chiefs, they were going to pay him. They weren't going to pay him. He wasn't going to be the number one, receiver. They were going to pay him. So if he really wanted to win, he would have stayed his ass in Kansas City and won.
Could have been racking up the rings.
Probably had 5 championships.
Could have been racking up the rings, bro.
Think about it. They really, bro. They won 1 championship with Tyreek Hill. 1. They won 2 more since that.
Disappointed.
On the verge of 3-peating. And his ass just in Miami putting up empty calorie stats.
Hey, man, get your money, man. I respect it.
But don't tell me that you want to win.
Well, where's that with the Raiders wide receiver?
Well, that was a little bit different. They weren't winning. They didn't win. They didn't win. And Aaron Rodgers, he would be in a hole just hogging up all the money. So then Devontae Adams like, I'm gonna go play with my boy. I'm gonna play with my boy Derek Carr. Then he get hold.
Man, that nigga really. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, that was so selfish. Like, bro, if this is your guy,
that's what I'm saying.
This is your main man, your duo. Like look at Patrick Mahomes, bro. He got that huge contract. And he been taking pay cuts.
Yeah, you taking up all the money. So I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna get my bag. We not winning anyway. I'm gonna go and get my bag and play with my best friend.
Can't wait to get on Aaron Rodgers' ass.
But next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings.
I put him in mid.
Yeah, I'm mid. I'm indifferent about them. No motion.
Sam Darnold been cooking. He said
Well,
Kyle Shanahan shouldn't have cut me.
What's the status on Jettas?
Oh, they said he's gonna be back. They said he's gonna be back week 3.
Oh, okay.
They said it's not major.
Because no Jettas, no production.
Oh yeah,
no production. Because that I mean, that motherfucker had a 97-yard touch. All that going out the window. When you got Jettas, you're going to look good. I mean, look at Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
So let's pump the brakes on Sam Darnold. I heard Colin Coward, he's like a big Sam Darnold fan. I didn't know Sam Darnold had a fan.
Sam Darnold was a good prospect
he just
coming
played
out
for
of
the Panthers.
2018.
Like he played for the Jets.
Like he was a good quarterback prospect in college.
He competent, but people was like, well, I'm somebody that believes put Sam Darnold on that San Francisco team.
They would have went to the Super Bowl.
Well, they won the Super Bowl. Question.
They probably could have won it. They might have won that whole. No, I'm just playing.
I think they could have won though.
All right, next up we got the New York Football Giants.
Panthers
tier bad.
I put them in that Panthers tier, man.
The only way they bad is because of Malik Neighbors. That's the only way they're bad because of Malik Neighbors.
See, some of those teams, you drop bad because your floor is so low due to your quarterback play.
Like, how do you score 3 touchdowns?
Because look at those teams at the bottom. Look at those teams at the bottom. They have the worst quarterbacking situations.
Like, dog, how do you score 3 touchdowns and still lose a football game off of field goals? I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. Like, Daniel Jones is a D1 robber. Like,
yeah, he on his own money heist.
That nigga definitely hit a
bank. Make an argument that those 2 guys at the bottom are competing for the worst quarterback in the NFL.
I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised who goes 0-16 between those teams.
I think
Deshaun Watson, he's getting carried by his the talent on his team because his play is deserving of being at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And Will Levis off of turnovers alone, you got the worst two. You had the worst turnover in week 1. You got the worst turnover in week 2. Like what are we doing? Like I heard Rex Ryan say. I think Rex Ryan was like saying he thinks he's Brett Favre. You're not Brett Favre.
You're gunslinger. You're gunslinger.
Stop it. That man try to do like a front flip. I don't know what he's doing.
I have no clue. But we have the overrated New York Jets.
Mid.
Man, people had this team being a contender.
They are so overrated.
But when you look at them on paper, they look like they can do something. But when you got a quarterback who's so selfish in Aaron Rodgers, it just throws that all out the window. Because, I mean, they got the receivers, they got the running back, they got the defense. They got a pretty solid line. But when your quarterback, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about the offseason. You don't want to show up to a mandatory training camp because he's just that good. And now he's got a documentary coming out in December about his process coming back from an ACL. Like, nigga, nobody cares. Like, dog, you're just being selfish at this point, and you're just trying to, be a cameraman. He's looking like a social media quarterback right now. I've been seeing a lot of Aaron Rodgers on like commercials and stuff for no reason when he ain't really did nothing. Like, he struggled to beat the Titans, dog. Will Levis had the stupidest turnover ever, and he struggled to beat them. You luckily did because you got a great receiver in Garrett Wilson and a great running back in Breece Hall, and that great defense. Like I said,
hey, I guess we need to revisit the Aaron Rodgers video that we had. That topic we had in the fall. I'm gonna say this about Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. This team is very overrated. I've been hearing about the defense, and defense is not that great in my opinion. One thing I need to say about Sauce is that he is a really good DB, but man, he's handsy. Like, he just be like, they be letting him get away with everything.
He got that ore.
I guess so. But that team collectively is not that great. Aaron Rodgers, let's be honest, we need to stop with 40-year-old quarterbacks. They're not Tom Brady. He doesn't want to get hit. He sees goals. Like Aaron Rodgers, when he's dropping back, that's why the ball is going out so quick. He does not want to get hit. Aaron Rodgers, I'm sorry to tell you this, but football is a contact sport. If you're afraid to get hit, you need to sit your ass down. So you don't want to get injured. Now I know you had the injury, but you don't want to get hurt. But this is the NFL. If you want to win games, you're going to have to take risk. And I don't even know if they're running any plays. I really don't know if they're running offense. I think Aaron Rodgers is trying to they're just freelancing. Nathaniel Hackett is a joke.
Man, it's just hilarious.
Robert Saleh is a joke. And as Jalen was
hilarious.
saying, it'd be different if Aaron Rodgers had good leadership. He's a terrible leader because he's really a bad person. So Garrett Wilson, he's a good receiver, a little overrated. Like people were saying that, oh, he's with Aaron Rodgers going to take this next step. No, he's not. And his aura is making him in his rankings go down because first of all, what's up with the hair? And what's up with
the sleeves?
What's up with the sleeves? Like, are you a quarterback or what? Are you a punter or what?
I think he's. I think
so that's taken away from his play just because he's dressed. He's dressed up
back
like
into like that
He
Jerry
lost
Rice.
4, and then the number 5, like rock the 17, dog.
That's his college number.
I don't care. I don't care. The 17 was fire.
Like, what does this got to do with his play? Like
think about the receiver. The receiver in the NFL is number 17, Devontae Adams. Or
so you want him to keep 17 and be like Devontae Adams?
well, why did you have 17 in the first place?
Hey.
Okay, I'm gonna be sidetracked. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers, does he throw a pretty looking ball? Yes.
Hell yeah.
But we don't care about that. That's not telling us anything new. I heard Nick Wright say something very funny. He said, Dan Marino at like 55 years old could throw a beautiful ball. Dan Marino wasn't getting his ass on that field to play quarterback for a team that has Super Bowl expectations.
I think what Aaron Rodgers started doing, he started doing what those commercials with Brett Favre. He's just playing with old people.
Yeah, or playing with the dog.
Yeah. Before you finesse Mississippi out their money.
Yeah, go be on Aaron Rodgers. Go be on a Levi's commercial, dog. He's not interested.
He looked like one of them type of niggas to be on a Levi's commercial.
Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, doesn't look like he wants to win a championship. He looks like he's satisfied with just attempting to get back to a level that's respectable for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they're really trying to win games.
He's just riding off of that what if. Like a lot of people are saying what ifs with this team, and he's just like riding off of it.
Yeah. I mean,
they will not make the playoffs. They're bad.
Let's get into the next scene. We have the Raiders.
I would put them in mid for right now, man.
I think they had a good showcase in last game.
Gardner
Minshew actually looks all right.
He's a good competent quarterback.
He looked all right after
he's like
probably got on his ass.
He's like Ryan Fitzpatrick level to me. He's a really good backup.
I can see that.
Yeah. He just has some untimely turnovers, like some bad decision making sometimes. But he's pretty good though.
That's subject to happen. Next we got Jay's former team, the Seattle Seahawks. Put them in mid too.
I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent.
I mean,
mid is getting long, man.
It is getting long.
It's a lot of mid play. I mean, Geno Smith, he does Geno Smith things. He's a pretty good quarterback.
He's a great backup.
Yeah, he's a great backup. He's never like a starter level quarterback.
Nah.
I was expecting a lot out of Kenneth Walker. I was expecting him to emerge as a pretty good, running back in this league, but that hasn't really happened. DK Metcalf, the name is just kind of carrying him at this point. Sad to say.
He had that deep ball that was in busted.
Yeah, he had the deep ball, but like
long coverage.
I'm just not hearing anything.
It was busted coverage.
I'm just not hearing anything.
If that open man, like
well, because this thing about DK Metcalf, and I hate to say this because I know people that's related to him. When you can't run the route tree, you're supposed to be an elite receiver. You know what? 2 words: Dez Bryant. Like that's what happens when you're an explosive athlete at the receiver position and you start to lose your athleticism. You can't run the route tree. You put a good DB on him, you don't have to double. You go one-on-one coverage.
Yo, that dude on the I forgot his name, but that dude on the Patriots, he's becoming a really good cornerback.
Christian Gonzalez.
Oh yeah.
He didn't get hurt. If he didn't get hurt his rookie year, man,
He had
he's only allowed.
week.
Like he's played like some of the best receivers in the league, and he's only allowed like 18 receptions out of all of them in 140 yards.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. So I forgot to mention him in the talks with the Patriots.
DK Metcalf, in my opinion, is not a great receiver. He's a great athlete.
All right, next up we have Baker Magic, and I think this is the easiest playoff team I've ever seen.
Playoff team with a top 10 quarterback.
Man, Baker Mayfield.
Magic.
We need to talk about the comeback. Man, it's a masterclass, man. That's American story right there.
And then y'all start that Lamar Jackson like elusivity from Baker Mayfield.
Whoever that was, he put him in a blender.
I was a bit surprised.
I didn't know if that was Baker Mayfield or Allen Iverson.
Man,
he had wiggle. That man had wiggle.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, that man had wiggle. That was kind of crazy.
Florida got that nigga right, bro.
It definitely seems like a good environment for Baker. All right, next up we got the team that just lost today. Last night now, since it's the morning now. The Philadelphia Eagles.
And
they're a mid team, but they'll still make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't even know if they're gonna make the playoffs.
I can see
they're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna make playoffs.
They're like the one team that like I just don't like them at all, dog. Like it's not even the fact like it's on paper, yeah, they got a lot of talent, but the quarterback and the coach. First of all, I have question marks surrounding the quarterback, and I have question marks surrounding the coach too. And they also don't have a good relationship. Like your quarterback does not communicate to your coach. He doesn't respect your coach. What does that say about the outlook of the team? In my opinion, I think Jalen Hurts has been getting a pass for his leadership. His leadership is bad, in my opinion. Because I have to give more credit to Jason Kelce, who at this point is first ballot Hall of Famer, for carrying this dead team in terms of their spirit. Because their spirit was broken last year due to Jalen Hurts and whatever was going on with Nick Sirianni. Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, can't even really be talking because he if we want to just be honest, he has one good season. One good season. And that season was a great season. He was second in MVP, went to the Super Bowl. But other than that, what has he done? Last year, he doubled his turnovers. And this year, game one, he wasn't really that great. And in my opinion, if Jordan Love is competent, like if Jordan Love is who everybody says he is, they win that game handily. They gave that game up. You mean to tell me that the Eagles are choking in the first quarter and they're turning the football over and you're settling for field goals? Field goals. And then in game two, Jalen Hurts, game is on the line. Money, the chips are pushed at the middle of the table. We're in Vegas. Chips are pushed at the middle of the table. You're going all in.
Type commentary.
The money is on the line. If Jalen Hurts, if you're that guy, you're getting paid what, $200+ million? Get the job done. Interception, because on the first play, I was like, okay, because I asked Buffy and Jay. I said, can Jalen Hurts, can he make this game-winning drive? They said, yeah. And I was like, all right, we're gonna see.
Well, I didn't say yeah.
Oh, well, Jalen said yeah. First shot, Dallas Goedert. I was like, okay, this got potential. This is a drive that has potential. But then you throw an interception to lose the game to Kirk Cousins. Are we serious?
I mean, they should have had that game in the bag if Saquon.
Yeah, they should. Man, this L is mainly on Sirianni and Hurts because Sirianni, he's the one that written up that play. I don't know why you wrote that play up when the Falcons had no timeouts. That could have been better decision making. And then Jalen Hurts, we can't. Come on, dog. If you're supposed to be that guy, you can't do that, man.
Yeah, I don't really get it, but we're gonna keep them in mid for now. And the last team we have is the Washington Commanders. I think they're just a bad team.
Yeah, they're bad team.
I think Jay Daniels can pull off that rookie of the year though. the way he's looking.
Yeah, he looks really good.
Unless the Bears they just start winning games in a row or something.
I mean, that can
you
happen.
talking about offensive rookie of the year? One of those receivers might get it, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Neighbors are Harrison. Now that I think about it, yeah.
I mean, BTJ putting on some numbers too. See, he might be in there running.
Oh yeah, Brian Thomas. Yeah, he been cooking too.
Bro, that rookie class is kind of. I mean, that rookie receiver class is kind of making that Rome Anduze pick kind of like a joke. Like he's not been looking good, bro.
Well, I mean, I don't know why he shouldn't be playing right now. He got a hamstring.
I know, be playing right now. Man, they got to sit his ass. But that rookie receiver class looking kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna stop screen sharing. That's pretty much all of our stuff today that we want to talk about. Thank y'all for watching, man.
I want to commend the viewership, man, for their engagement, and I also want to commend. I think we did pretty good for this live. I'm just looking at the overview. We had 57 people watch this live. So
where do you even see that at?
If you go to like the actual analytics, and then we talk about this offline. But yeah,
this nigga said $9. I please need it. Like what?
Yeah, get the fuck off here.
Oh, this is Cash App. Oh no.
Nah, P. That's bad cap, man.
I got bills to pay, bro. I'm a college student.
Not right here, partner.
Man, go ask your mama for $9, man. No disrespect, but like, come on, dog. Are y'all serious? Y'all come in my comment section asking Cash App.
It's like on some my family type shit. It's like
we college
winning now. That's how
my college niggas, bro.
Robert, do better, dog.
We college niggas, bro.
Well, I mean, I got it, but I ain't giving it to you.
No. I got it too. It's just
I got it too, but nah, no.
Come on, gang. I work for this shit.
That's really bad cap, man. When I saw that, I was like, wait, what? Am I reading that correctly? I see that.
Cut tweak.
$9.
Why so exact? You can even say like 10. You said $9.
Probably need some food. Probably need like some late night Taco Bell or something.
Maybe.
Taco Bell.
Maybe.
You better get you some cheese and crackers.
Yeah, possibly.
Your ass a sandwich.
I didn't read. Champy said that the Cardinals were the best bird team. Yeah, I can see that.
At this moment in time, I have to agree.
Yeah, best bird team. I'm trying to look back up on the comments.
But Champy, Marvin Harrison Jr. out here looking like a young Randy Moss. Can we pump the brakes a little bit?
I mean, was he not? I mean,
young Randy Moss.
I mean, throw that bitch up to him. I mean, he had more receiving yards than his ass ever had.
Play,
bro. What's going on, man? Nah, for toilet paper. Maybe Robert is a Cowboy fan, so they shit the bed. So we need more toilet paper for the crib.
It's COVID-19, man. We ain't, we trying to conserve our toilet paper.
You might need to wipe them tears, bro. Might need that tissue to wipe them tears.
Oh my God, man. But yeah, Antonio, Cowboy is so trash, man. Yeah. Antonio, they bad, bro. They bad, man.
Yeah, my dad, he's a Cowboys fan. He asked me when we gonna make another video, and I said, well, we're gonna go live. We're gonna talk about them on the live. But I said we may need to make another concept video about the Cowboys.
Yeah, man,
honestly, they could get a constant video every week at this point.
Yeah, and then our pops keeps on my pops keep on coming up to me. It's like every time it's like, hey man, how about the Cowboys? I'm like, man, y'all not good, man.
Y'all not good, man.
Not good this year, man.
Same shit, different day.
Man, forget that saying. How about them Cowboys, man?
I think that died. I ain't heard that.
We need to come up with a new saying. What the hell is going on or something?
Shit, just
it's bad.
Yeah, Stephen A. probably come up with something saying. Knowing him,
Jerry Jones, man.
But yeah, man. Ended off on that today, man. Thank y'all so much for watching. Definitely, trying to get out there with the content and the live streams.
And I do have to say, for our NBA fans, we do got some videos for y'all, man. I know that. Hey, I was talking to my brother earlier today. I was saying I think a majority of our fans are NBA basketball fans. So we have not forgotten about y'all, man. We
It's
have
just
not forgotten about y'all. We got some videos for y'all.
and then the
Yeah,
regular season's such a slog, man. It's like
I think that's where the concept videos will come is for the basketball stuff. Like we can really pretty much go live on this football shit, and then just throw concept videos for the basketball. It's too many games for basketball, unless it's like a big
it's not
game.
really important either, really.
Like I think like opening night we could probably go live opening night or something like
I
that.
like that.
Yeah, but really, this shit really gets good in postseason. Postseason, it's like really good, like on some b-ball breakdown type shit. But yeah, it's pretty much it, man. NFL it's a weird place. Week 2's been kind of weird. It's been a lot of upsets.
Yeah, I'm like what I'm seeing at the NFL though. You know what I'm saying?
It's some good parity. Nobody wants to see the same teams, run. Even though Chiefs kind of still run the NFL, but
is that my dog Archie?
Think you said Cowboys is terrible.
They terrible, man.
Cowboys.
Cause they done. They're cooked.
Man, Cowboys,
but they're still going to win that division.
I don't know, man. That division is like there for the taking, man. It's like the
Let's see, Cowboys, Eagles.
Bro, I just don't trust the Eagles. Like I trust at this point, I trust the Cowboys more than I trust the Eagles from a standpoint of at least I have more faith in the quarterback for the Cowboys as a leader. From a leadership standpoint, I don't trust Jalen Hurts. How do you have a bad relationship with your head coach? You're not communicating with your head coach.
It's got to be something behind the scenes that they not talking about.
He's a little
aggressive. He's always seemed like he's more aggressive to me.
Yeah.
I don't
think he's a good coach. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think he's a good coach.
Now I don't think he's a good coach either. But another thing, like I said, we got one good year of tape from Jalen Hurts. We know what Dak Prescott is. We don't know what Jalen Hurts is.
Yeah, he's kind of a roller coaster. Like it's like up and down. So hopefully the Eagles do something. That division looked like the best division in football last year. I think so.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Yeah, the NFC East is either really good or really, really, really bad. It's like no in between. But yeah, that's all we got for today. Thank y'all so much for watching, man. Tuning in. We're gonna be doing this every. Y'all still want to do it? Y'all still want to do it on Mondays, or you want to do it on Tuesday so we can get up there earlier?
I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know if we might need to do one next Monday. The Monday night football games look kind of,
I'm saying like,
well, we can go earlier than on Monday.
Yeah, we go earlier then.
Games is that. Monday night. One thing I gotta tell you, I'm gonna say this before I get off. NFL, man, we gotta do better with these Monday nights, man. These Monday night games are not good.
This one was good.
This one was good, but over the course of the season, the Monday nights be bad. Like you may get like a Steelers Raiders or something. Like, don't nobody want to see that shit, dog.
Well, I mean,
we got two of them Monday. We got the Jags. We got the Jags and Commanders playing.
Like the Jags and Commanders playing. The Jags and the Commanders playing on Monday Night Football? Are we fucking serious?
Trevor Lawrence better than 400 yards.
Polar bear.
Well, his ass he'll throw for like 216 with one touchdown,
one interception.
One interception, 80 quarterback rating. Like,
oh no, okay, correction. It's the Bills and Jaguars and Commanders and Bengals.
Yes, the Jaguars for some reason like play good against the Bills, so I wouldn't. So I'll be like, tuning in for that one. I think that dude. This pissed me off with the $9 shit.
Yeah, I'm about to log in.
Yeah, man.
Hey man, y'all have a good night, man. Y'all have a great night, man. Hey, this is what I will say. I will say this, man. Hey man, if y'all got somebody close to y'all that need $9, just give it to them, and don't ever give them anything else.
Oh my god.
Robert, I'm gonna pray for you, brother. I don't have the bread for you, man. I don't have it. I'm gonna pray for you. Good night. in his dream.